Okay, let's see if this sounds okay. Oh, gents, got a good one for you. Oh, this camera is just blocking my nipples. Fuck, but don't get shadow banned. So one thing my friend actually brought up to me is that when I swear, I'm more likely to get shadow banned and stuff. So I'm going to not swear at all in this video, just to make the algorithm like me. I have dessert with me. So today I want to talk about, let's say, polarization. Maybe political, maybe socio-political, maybe whatever, ideological, just polarization in general, right? Because that's what we're all dealing with social media nowadays. So each side of the aisle, the reason polarization has gotten so heavy recently, one observation I've made, each side of the aisle thinks that the other side is the status quo. So the super liberal, super progressive person thinks that what's normal is the conservative redneck. I don't. Yo, I must actually watch the stuff I say now because I want to get views. I don't like people of this skin color. Those kind of people, they think they are the norm, right? And the person on this side thinks that, oh, you can have 55 genders and you are what's the other one? Like this silly stuff. You can have 55 genders and everyone dyes their hair green, and hard work is a patriarchal thing. Like they think everyone is like that. So that's something I've noticed. And I think it's obviously a result of like the increased political polarization that all these algorithms have done to us. Because you're only gonna see what attracts your eyes, right? The algorithm that everyone talks about is purely designed to keep you watching, to keep your attention. And unfortunately, our attention isn't kept by nice things. Our attention tends to be grasped by things that are eye-catching and things that invoke emotional responses. And one of the most powerful emotional responses is anger and fear. Be angry, be afraid. That's what all forms of media want you to do. To a certain extent, I'm trying to get that through with my videos. That's how I'm trying to get more viewers, right? We just have to watch out for how much we allow that to mess with our perception of reality. It's not true that most people think that you can have 55 genders and you should dye your hair blue, and that like trying to make a lot of money means that you're a bad person. And most people don't think, oh, this person of this skin color is horrible. And yeah, most people aren't like that on either side, right? Most people are somewhere in the middle. Most people are reasonable and normal. It doesn't seem like that at all. Like, I'm sure some of you got triggered now when I said most people are reasonable. You were like, what? No, everyone I know is a complete so and so, right? The reason you think that, also another human, what's the word? A human bias. You should read Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. Very interesting book. Goes all into human biases and just how our brains think. So, the fast thinking part of your brain wants to make quick assumptions because it's generally correct, right? If you see a sports car, you can generally assume that was expensive. That's your fast thinking system. If I see a Ferrari, I'm like, that's more than £1 million. That's my fast thinking system, and I don't have to. Okay, no, it's actually this model. Look under the hood. Oh, okay, well, this is actually just the bonnet of a car. It's actually not a car at all. So my like slow thinking brain has been tricked there. So a lot of the times, our fast thinking brains will make us think that the the most provocative response we've had is the norm. Okay, so it's like you have one friend that's super crazy conservative or like is completely racist and just like a bad person, and you think, oh, like so many people are actually like that. They're not. Most people aren't. And or you might think you might have one like super communist annoying friend. Like, I can't believe people think like them. It's like most people don't. That's the thing. Most people flip and don't. And it's important to remember that for your own mental health sake, just to keep your life somehow normal. You know what I mean? I hope you're enjoying your supper today. So, sorry that I haven't mentioned. Today I'm having sugar-free jelly. Ama- Amazing fitness hack. This whole thing is like 30 calories, and it's liquor. I'm probably gonna have more dessert after this, but this like really stuffs you up. and it's cheap and it's good. Don't sleep on sugar-free jelly. Tastes good as well. This is a great flavor. It's flippin' liquor. So keep that in mind whenever you are speaking to anyone, right? Because a lot of times if you are passionate about a topic, so for me, I'm extremely passionate about taking responsibility for your life. It's like the biggest thing it's the biggest thing I try and get across to everyone I'm like strongly connected to as a friend. I'll always come to them and I'm like, your life is your own. There's a lot of bad things that happen in the world. Your life is your own. You must take the responsibility. Now, a lot of people actually agree with that, right? But in my head, sometimes I'm like, oh, people just live so aimlessly and they don't think like me. But that's what I think because I consume this media all the time and I get examples of people who don't think like me all the time because that's what's gonna provoke my emotional response and my attention. You see? So you have to play 4D chess and be like, actually most people aren't that crazy about it. But I'll bring it in conversations every now and then and I'll make the other person think that they thought about it. How to win friends and influence people. Right? Be like, yeah, that's very responsible of you. That's actually so amazing that you've been doing that. Bro, that's amazing. That's very responsible of you. You're keeping accountable to yourself. That's flippin' excellent. Right? Now to me, or to another person, I would have just shoved it down to like, bro, you should actually take responsibility for your life. You know, not enough people are doing that nowadays. And like, sure, some people aren't. But the majority, most of them take a decent amount of responsibility. They could take more, in my opinion. Everyone could take more, but that's just my like not my ideology. It's just something I strongly believe in. So I don't. I still struggle with it, but I try not to go into conversations assuming that this person is aimless and they don't take responsibility for anything, and I need to be there to. Oh, you need to. You need to take responsibility, bro, or else you're gonna die. Like, it's just silly. And some of the things. So you're like a very progressive. What's the word? A very progressive, like feminist girl. Like I understand it. You know, if you're a reasonable one. Most, but the thing is, most are. There's just a very loud minority that aren't. So if you're very reasonable and you'll be like, "Oh, I'm glad that you are doing so well in your career. I'm glad that you are pursuing what makes you happy as a woman. That's amazing." Instead of being like, "Oh, you should actually pursue a career if you're a woman. Like being a stay-at-home mom is actually completely bad for you." It's like people can make their own decisions. Let them, right? Congratulate people for what they do, especially if you're a true feminist. Congratulate women for being the woman they want to be. That is what feminism is about. It's about choice for everyone, right? So congratulate them for their choice of being a single mother, being a career woman, being a whatever they want to be. But don't assume that they think, oh, the patriarchy is keeping me down. Life is so difficult. Oh, these men make my life so hard. Like, don't. Most women don't. Okay, depending on your context, most of the world's women don't have that anymore. For good, thank goodness, thank God, right? But you have to remember that you can't make that skew your reality because it's gonna make you resentful of men. It's gonna make you, in the other instance where to be responsible, it's gonna make you resentful of the everyday person. You're gonna be like, oh, this person just isn't doing enough. I wish everyone did as much as me. It's like, no, people are doing their best all the time. People are doing their flipping best, bro. So yeah, that's the video. Keep an eye out for the political polarization, right? It's very sub. What's the word? I don't think subversive is the right word, but it's everywhere. It's everywhere, right? And it's in your brain, whether you like it or not. You keep an eye out for it. Most people, somewhere in the middle. If you meet a fanatical person, like if I meet, like when my friends, right? They are like, oh, I'm taking responsibility for my life. I am like, yes, let's go, let's go to the gym tomorrow. Like that's how I am. I love it, right? But I'm not gonna push that down in everyone's throats because it's gonna make them resent me. And it's not how most people are. Most people aren't meaningless, going in the waves, and most people aren't patriarchal scumbags who just want to keep women down. Like most people are just normal. Just love most people for what most people are. They're normal and they're nice. Okay. Cheers, guys.